going to summarize the video that's going to follow this video. Yeah, right. That makes sense. Anyway, it's on the book subject, generally speaking, but it has other pieces in it that aren't really relevant to the book. I did think of another title, Human, the Instruction Manual. Yeah, I like it. But anyway, so I'll title this video that, I guess. But I'll put book in all the book videos in the title. And then we'll know what the subject is, generally speaking. But like I said, there's other little bits in the video that's going to follow. Seal Polani did whatever their stupid video, and Greatex did a very good response. So maybe I'll link below to the Greatex video. I'll put that in the box just because it's long, but he just, you know, he slaps her around a bit. Pretty good, pretty effective. Anyway, just stupid. It's just a stupid subject anyway. The whole thing is fucking stupid. People. Anyway, the point, yeah, so the Jay thing. Yeah, Jay, you know, whatever. Like I said, I like you. Don't get paranoid. Not upset. Whatever, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I just can't deal with inconsistency. So you can, but whatever. Let's just get somebody else to host the blog. Somebody else who's doesn't like to hit the delete button, and then we'll be okay. And then you can write stuff and post it, and yeah, everything will be okay. I just thought, you know, I really did think you were kind of suited to the job, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll say that in the video later. This just doesn't. I'm just saying, no conflict. No, don't get paranoid. But whatever. And then. Oh yeah, and there's no point in even talking about the heroin church thing. It's just too cliche. That's all. Just too cliche. Jeez. Anyway, I mean, it's just so stupid. On so many levels. I mean, if we just talked about antinatalism and you stopped one person from accidentally even getting pregnant, you know what I mean? If you just made them more responsible in how they use birth control, just because you just kind of explained this and they said, oh yeah, I really got to make sure I don't have a kid because having a kid is a huge responsibility and it might hate being alive, and you know, even if you stopped one, I mean, there's such value in that. And what's the amount of the effort to make the argument? I mean, you know, again, so you don't want to do it because it's personally inconvenient, fine. But don't sit there and say people who do still care and do think there's purpose in it. I mean, to insult them by implying that they're wasting their time. How could it possibly be a waste of time? I mean, it doesn't take much of an accomplishment here. I mean, all I gotta do is prevent one baby from being born, and I figure I win big time. And the rest is just gravy. So, I mean, there's just no logic to your argument. You want to selfishly live for yourself? Go the fuck ahead, but don't make that into some sort of purposeful act, some sort of admirable, oh, he's just got to take care of himself, by being a selfish motherfucker who insults people who aren't selfish motherfuckers. I mean, really. I mean, be a selfish motherfucker, but frankly, you shouldn't be insulting your betters. And the people who are still fighting the fight are your betters, asshole. I mean, really. Much better. So really, fuck you for the 4th or 5th time. You fucking weasel. I mean, quit pretending to give a fuck about anything but your goddamn self, you silly fucking person. Oof. Oof. Despicable. Yeah, so that's enough. Okay, so yeah, I like the new title. And so yeah, somebody wants to just put up a blog. We would take the chapter headings like I mean, you know, he did it. Jay did it right, and they blew it all up. I mean, we'll take the chapter headings. If we need to change them, we change them, and we'll say this belongs in this chapter. This belongs in that chapter. This belongs and pierce the argument into the proper pieces and progression, and work on it that way. It seems logical to me, like an instruction manual. First, we'll talk about the parts. And then we'll talk about, you know, the ABCs of assembling yourself, and then the ABCs of assembling yourself in the context of a bigger world, and blah, blah, you know, just progress right through the simple argument that this is the circumstance you're stuck in, and these are your options. These are the things this tool can do. And you really want your tool, your thing, you want to assemble it in such a way that it functions in the world in some sort of productive manner. Yeah. Sounds good to me. Yeah, I don't, well, whatever. Just, these people, I just can't deal with it. It's just gone so fucking flaky. So anyway, till next time. Alright, response video to, I guess, Jay Sounder. Just on the general subject of, I don't know what's the general subject. The blog website thing, the book blog thing. Yeah. Sorry. Disoriented, a little distracted because of, you know, whatever, my own psychiatric issues. But anyway, so, yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, I empathize with your circumstance, your paranoia, your this, your that. But it does make doing business with you really difficult because, yeah, you're just so erratic. So, yeah. I don't know what to say. I mean, I'd like to have confidence in you. I'd like to say, yeah, it was a good idea. I did say it. I posted a comment sort of validating the idea. And, you know, then you blow it all up. I mean, this, you know, delete the button thing is just very, it's a really bad habit. You know, I hate inconsistency. I hate things that are undependable. and I don't hate you. I'm just saying, yeah, that really bugs the fuck out of me. You know, where you get paranoid about things, I get paranoid about. I don't even get paranoid about it. I just hate things that aren't predictable. I hate it. I hate chaos, and you're very chaotic. You can't, you know. I just, like I said, there's just nothing. There's no way to know what's what's his mood today. Which, like I said, it's okay. So we'll find somebody else to do the blog. So, I mean, I thought you were real suited for it. You seem to have the time. You seem to have a passion for writing. I hate writing. And so it seemed like a good project for you. And, yeah, I don't think the copyright thing is an issue. It's a public forum. Once the book was put together, if somebody's got a complaint, they'd have to make it. And I don't think they could make a rational copyright complaint unless they posted their content with a copyright notice. Because the implicit default is public blog. You're giving it away. It's you know, it's public domain. You know. So anyway, I mean, there's no expectation of proprietary ownership. Anyway, so yeah, you know, I don't know what to say. You know, I'm disappointed. That's all. But so what? I have been disappointed in the past. Is I really just don't want to do it. I don't got the time for this shit. I don't want to be setting up a blog. I don't, you know, my biggest thing is I don't even want to set up a blog just because you have to go through these stupid corporations, and I don't want to do that. And I don't want to write my own software at this particular time because I got way too many other things to do. So I just don't want to be managing some other thing. I got enough stuff on my plate of things to manage. So I just thought it'd be nice if somebody had a wiki page or a blog page that we could just all post shit. I thought the forum was fine. You just let people post comments. If their comment is worthy of creating an edit, you edit. If it's not, you don't. It's not that big a deal. It's all there. You don't delete anything. You just leave it all there. What's the problem? I mean, I just don't get it. You know, refining a few titles, this and that, no big deal. You know, you just keep the deletions to a minimum, do them when necessary, and that's it. Anyway, so on the related subject, so I mean everything's fine. I mean I'm not mad or anything. I'm not, you know, it's just that I'm just irritated that we wasted time. You know, and fortunately it happened quickly. Yeah, you know, you fell off the tracks right at the station. Yeah, so, you know, open invitation to somebody else if they just want to set up a blog, someplace where we can post all this content, we can write shit, we can edit, we can fuck around, we can argue, we can do whatever the fuck we want with all this text crap, and try to refine this down to whatever, 10 subject titles, and format it in some sort of coherent, pleasant to read manner. What's the big deal? So anyway, on a related subject of this erraticacy and inconsistency, Heroin Church has gone again and done it. Just insulted everyone and insulted anyone who has a consistent philosophy. I mean, it's just so irritating when you have somebody who's among you, so to speak, advocating your position, and they embarrass your position. It's like that Polanyi nutcase woman on the the subject of Zimmerman. She's doing so much damage to their cause, in terms of just demonstrating that she's she's the worst person to be defending, just because she just demonstrates the problem. I mean, I don't even got to go on that. So I should, because I don't really want to do a separate video about it. But I mean, it's just so ironic to have somebody who's wearing their Jewness on their sleeve, not to get the fact that profiling is not a good idea. Racial profiling or cultural profiling. I mean, the thing the Nazis did that was evil wasn't that they killed a few rich Jews. The problem was they figured all Jews are evil money whores. Isn't that what the bottom line is? And so here she's basically validating that presumption. She's basically said, I would stalk him too. He's a black man who looks high. Yeah, we have to do something about it. Can't have that on the sidewalk. How dare it be on my sidewalk? I mean, if she can't see how people could say this, be just as intolerant of every Jew because of a few bad Jews. I mean, just so fucking idiotic. Preposterous, monstrous idiocy. So obviously it has to be motivated by a deep-seated hatred for blacks. She's got to be a preposterous racist, or she would be able to see how irrational her defense is here. Preposterously irrational. Preposterously duplicitous. She would not want to be Jew profiled. I mean, goddamn. Too fucking obvious. So back to Heroin Church, who is like the cliche gay guy, right? Whiny, self-indulgent, self-obsessed, egomaniacal, silly pants. I mean, he's just been a cliche of the eccentric, hedonistic gay asshole. So another guy you'd almost like, oh man, I wish he wasn't part of our group. But yeah, he's just the cliche fucking peacock, again, self-obsessed caricature of a human being. He has absolutely no human character, no even a conception of anybody else's values or value, because he can't even imagine. It's like, oh, well, once the right to die issue is solved for me, I'm not even going to talk about it anymore. And anti-natalism, well, it can't happen, so I'm not going to talk about it. You're just like, well, it's so vacant. So yeah, go sing songs and shit. I'm sure you're going to be a big star. Not. But whatever, you silly person. I mean, your passion is so flighty and so frivolous. 1 minute you're crying and whining and empathizing with the world, and the next minute you're saying, don't bother me, kid. Your problems aren't my problems. Fuck you. I got mine. Fuck you. That's all you're saying? Jesus, you stinking weasel. Oh, disgusting. But just the gross. He's done it like 6 times now, this personality disorder he has, where he just flips entirely. His empathy is on his sleeve, and then his hedonism is on his sleeve, and then it's his empathy, and then his hedonism, and then his empathy. I mean, come on. Either you're Daffy Duck or you're Bugs Bunny. You can't be both. Fuck. Shit, these people. So I guess it's this thing of youth or something. I mean, you can't do that with the Polanyi woman. She's not, she's old enough to know better. But yeah, I understand with these people who are a little inconsistent on the anti-natalist stuff. I get it. It's a hard philosophy. It's a lot of, growing up, with it as a realistic perception, not something you know, you sit there and figure you're insane for believing. It's a lot different than, you know, well, I don't know if it's all that different. I mean, I've lived with it all my life, and I wasn't erratic in my youth, so I don't get it exactly. So I'll quit making excuses for people, but I'm just saying, it's, you know, damn. I mean, I hate inconsistency in people. I really hate that. It's just really difficult to. I mean, I have trust issues. It's really hard to trust people when you keep finding knives in your back. So anyway, enough of video. I gotta go run and such. So yeah, I don't know if I'll add on to this, but just fuck. That's all I get. Fuck. That's all I got to say. Fuck people.